So today I wanted to go over how I personally pack for a Fastpack. So I have right here is a 40-liter Fastpack that I've used quite often this summer. And these directions are going to be good for a trip that lasts around 3 to 5 days. So my goal when packing is to pack in a way that I don't have to actually open up the pack itself and rummage around, find the gear I want, put the gear I don't want back in, and get on my way. What I really want to do is be moving as much as possible. So you have to think about like which gear do you need more often than not. Like my sleep system, I'm going to be using that maybe once a night. So that's something I'm going to think about. I'm going to put that in the bottom of my pack. But there's going to be other gear that I want all the time, say my sunglasses. So when I'm not wearing my sunglasses, maybe I want to put them somewhere I can easily retrieve them. Another example would be having really good access to sunscreen. If you notice, I'm very fair, so I put on quite a bit of sunscreen. Another example is food. I love to constantly snack when I'm on my Fastpack. So I want to make sure that food is always available to me. So I don't want to keep the food in the bottom of my pack. I want it like right where my hands are. Okay, so let's just go through the process of packing a Fastpack. The first thing I have in my hands is most of my sleep system. In fact, it's all my sleep system except my sleeping bag. So we're looking at a bivy, my sleeping pad, and a pillow, right? And that for me, I like to put that right into the bottom of the pack. And I don't use like a stuff sack or compression sack for this. I just like putting in the bottom, and the rest of the gear that I put on top will do a good job in compressing everything else down. It's also nice to have a little bit of padding on the bottom of my pack, since that's an area, at least for me, where I tend to chafe. And this gives a nice, soft, cushiony edge to the pack that I wouldn't get normal if I put like something a bit more hard edge, like a bunch of bars or some sort of food. So the next thing I put into my pack is actually my food. And right here I have an example of 1 day's worth of food. So I'll bring one of these kind of gallon-sized Ziploc bags for every day that I think I'm going to be out. And I'll put them just after my sleep system. So pretend I have like 4 or 5 of those, and that's the food. So in the morning, what I do is I'll take out one of those gallon Ziploc bags of food, and I'll put it into the front of the pack, like so. And that's how I have easy access for the food I need for the day. The rest of the food stays well into the bowels of the pack. I've made a whole other video on the types of foods that I bring during a Fastpack. I'll link it somewhere up here, and you can check that out once you're done with this video. So the next thing I put in my pack are these 2 small waterproof stuff sacks. They both hold very important things to me, and I don't want to lose them, nor do I want to get them mixed up. So the blue one usually has my personal items, so things like toothpaste, toothbrush, all my contact solution and extra contacts, any kind of ibuprofen or Aleve I'm bringing, my water purification stuff, things like that. And I'll put those after the food, right in there. And the red one has my electronics. So for like a Fastpack, we're talking batteries, battery packs, cables to connect to all my other electronic devices. And for both of these sacks, I usually write my name, number, and email address on the outside of the sack itself, just in case I do drop it and someone finds it, they can get in contact with me and maybe I can get my stuff back. And that's kind of nice when it's the electronics. I might have like a couple $100 worth of stuff in here, who knows. And I also like using the waterproof stuff sacks. I think they last a really long time. They're super durable. And if I do drop these, you know, they're going to actually survive a season in the winter, which is kind of amazing. So those go in the pack. Okay, the next thing I put in is my sleeping bag. And this sleeping bag's just in the compression sack that came with the sleeping bag itself. And I put my clothes. So this is my wearables. And it goes in its own stuff sack. And if you look, they're just about the same size, which is nice because everything is really well organized in here. And I just kind of put them in vertically, and I also put them in, you know, parallel. So if you look, they're just like 2 torpedoes ready to be, you know, shot off. These are the items where I'm actually going to be taking them out and putting them back in quite often during the day. So I want them kind of at the top. And for your wearables, you might start getting like hyper organized and prioritizing how you're packing just your wearables. So you're putting the least used wearables at the bottom and the most used at the top. So one thing I forgot to mention, because I don't use it all that often, is a water reservoir. If you're going on a trip where you don't think you're going to get to a water supply in every few hours, you're probably going to bring a water reservoir. And usually, like in this pack, there's a sleeve in the back that you can slide the water reservoir in, and that'll work for you as well. All right, so that's the main compartment of my Fastpack. So we had the sleep system minus the sleeping bag. We had food. We had my personal items and electronics. And then we had my sleeping bag and my wearables, my clothes. And then we put the reservoir in as an optional thing. So onward we go. Next thing we're going to talk about is this front pocket. Now we already put the day's worth of food in there, so that's already in there. To that, I add sunscreen. Again, I'm very fair, so I always want a good supply of my sunscreen. And I usually just kind of put it way at the bottom, and it's in a place where if I want to feel around, I know it's there. I can actually feel it without even taking the pack off. So the next thing on my list for putting in the front pocket is my Inreach Mini. This is my personal location device, and this is a super important piece of gear for me. Since I don't want to lose it, I use the attached carabiner, and I attach it to the daisy chain that's located near the front pocket here. Make sure it's always connected, and then I just slip the Inreach so it's just kind of poking out above the front pocket there. And this isn't something that I need to access during the day. I can actually just control this with my phone that lives closer to my hands. But I find that getting reception, both finding just where the satellites are for my location, as well as sending a message out, works really well when this has a clear field of view. For example, on my back, rather than in front where I might be hunched over, lamenting my free time choices while going up a mountain in the rain. So the next few things I bring are my sunglasses and sunglass case and my head torch. Now, these two items are extremely important during a trip, and they also cost a lot of money, so I actually utilize the front zipper of this Fastpack that's next to kind of the front pocket, and I put them inside there. And that way I know that they're not going to get lost. Now, there is limited space in this pocket, but I'm usually only going to put one of these items in at the time, right? If I'm using the head torch, I'm not having my sunglasses on, and vice versa. Hopefully that makes sense. But there and there, the zipper is zipped up, and I know that I'm not going to lose them. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the side pockets. So the first thing I do is I get my first water bottle and I put it in one of the side pockets. And that is something I can reach from the front if I want. I'll show you how later in this video. For the next pocket, since I have two of these side pockets, I leave open. And it can kind of be cache for various things. For example, if the weather is getting kind of marginal and it keeps on again, off again, raining on me, I'll put my rain top in there, my rain jacket. And then I can easily like grab it, put it on, take it off, store it. So do be careful when you get into using all these pockets for your gear caches, because I've just listed 2 gear caches plus my stuff sack that's inside my pack as places where I store clothes. The less gear caches you use, the better. I really try to use only the side pocket, but things happen. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about are these running vest style straps. Now, this pack has a mucho amount of storage space for little items that you want throughout the day. So we're going to just load them up. This is where you can kind of save a lot of time if you just kind of put a bunch of things that you're often going to use in here, so you don't have to rummage around in the back of your pack. So the first thing we're going to pack into these running vest straps is my GPS. Now, this is a standalone garment unit. I really love it. I love being able to replace the batteries. I love being able to find batteries, say in town. The battery life is really great. It's not my phone, so if I lose this, I still own a phone. I do have a tether, and I do tether this to my pack. So when I bend down or reach or I'm on difficult terrain, I don't have to worry about losing this. Since what I do is I put it into a pocket that doesn't have a zipper or anything, it just has an opening on the top. So it's easy to actually take in and out, which is great when I'm consulting it. but I don't want to drop it. So the tether makes sure that I don't do that. And I'll just like pick a strap on the bag, do a little hitch like that, and then it's always within arm's reach. And then if I drop it, I mean, no big deal, right? Okay, so the next thing I will pack is my water treatment. Now, I've been using Aquamira for the past couple of years, and I found it works really well. The downside is it takes a little while for the water to treat. So sometimes I'll also bring like a water filter. The negative of that is the water filter may get damaged and even ruined if it freezes. Now, I'm in the mountains a lot, and during the night, temperatures get pretty low, and it's not uncommon to be in freezing conditions. So I've been preferring using Aquamira instead. Now, this is just kind of an old like contact solution bottle that I'm repurposing. What I've done is Aquamira comes in 2 bottles, and you mix the 2 together, and you wait a couple minutes, and then you can treat your water. Say in the morning, I'll mix those 2 bottles together and put the contents in this, and then use this instead of having to do that that mixture every time. So this is my premix. If you do it yourself, use a black bottle, since this stuff is kind of sun sensitive, light sensitive, but I kind of did it on a whim during a trip, and this is just what I've been using. Water treatment is really important. I don't want to lose this, so I'll put this into a zipper pocket in the front. Oop, like so. Okay, so the next thing I'll pack is yet more sunscreen. If I haven't belabored on the point hard enough, I am very, very fair-skinned, and I do stuff in the mountains where the UV level is somewhat high. So I always want to have easy access to sunscreen. And I found this like little like children's playing in the beach roll-on sunscreen, and the size is just perfect for the kind of stuff I do. So let's put that in there. All right, zip that up because I don't want to lose sunscreen. Usually makes for a bad day for me. Okay, so the next thing we'll pack is another water bottle. This is water bottle number 2, and I keep this one right up front. So anytime I need a drink, take it out, do a drink, put it back in, and keep going. So I usually bring at least 2 water bottles on my trips, just so one water bottle can have water that I'm currently treating, and the other is something that I can drink from. I also like bringing at least 2 water bottles because one bottle can have some sort of nutrition in it, like a Tailwind or like a Hammer product like Perpetuum. So I'm actually taking in calories while I'm drinking. So the next thing I'll pack in the front running vest style straps is my phone. And I'll just put it right there. But I also want to know exactly where it is at all times. So if I'm doing my trip, I like to feel right on the strap and be like, okay, I feel a phone, I have my phone, great. Okay. And so the final thing that I pack in the front running vest style pockets is just more food. If you look at it, we have so many more little pockets that we can just fill up with food. So say it's the beginning of the day, I need to re-up my food rations. I'll go into my pack and get out a day's supply of rations of food. And before I even put it into that front pocket, I'll open it up and, you know, kind of plan the next couple hours of my Fastpack and take out food that I kind of want to munch on for the next couple hours. These look good. Close this guy up, put it back in that front pocket, and then load these vest style straps full of food wherever I can put it. So I always have things to munch on, and I don't have to like go back into my pack or do so as little as possible. Okay, so that's how I pack my Fastpack for a 3 to 5 day trip. Now let's kind of go over a little bit on how to access your pack without having to always take it off. Okay, so my pack is on, I'm all loaded up, and I want to get to one of my side pockets. What do? I could just take the entire pack off, or here's like a little pro tip. If you look at this particular pack, I have 2 sternum straps, and I have like a strap near my hips. I can take these 2 sternum straps off, right? Unhook one arm and just swing this thing around, right? And then grab whatever I want from that side pocket, put that strap back on, you know, put my gloves on if I want, and then just put these straps back on. Just like so. Okay, so say I wanted to access that front pocket, right? Same idea. I'll unhook those sternum straps. I'll then take both of my arms off of the pack, kind of swing the pack over here, and then I have full access to that front pocket to get, maybe I want to mess with my Inreach or grab some food or whatever. Put it back, put the Inreach back, and then take my hand, one strap, two strap, and I'm well on my way. And it's pretty easy. And you can play with this as much as you want. You may be able to actually access the main compartment this way too. And if you look, it's just kind of like hanging from my lower back. Let's try it. Oh yeah, well there's my wearables. Let's see what I can grab out here. I have no idea what I brought here. Oh, a t-shirt, perfect. Okay, so that's how I personally pack for a Fastpack. Now, like all this advice I'm giving you, try it yourself, modify and customize it for your taste and style, and practice. Practice actually packing your pack, unpacking, use your imagination. Imagine that you're 8 hours into a Fastpack and you need to grab a coat. How easy is it going to be? Freaking time yourself if you want to. It's not something I go to the lengths for, but like if you're really going for like an FKT, could mean the difference of getting that FKT or just kind of not. Also kind of practice doing those really fancy moves of grabbing stuff from the side or even from, in here. All right, and have fun. If you have a question for me, leave it in the comments, email me, slide into my DMs, find me at my house, something like that, and I'll see you in the next video. Woo, Berber. I'm about 8 months along. How I pack for a Fastpack pack. Pack for a Fastpack. Pack for a Fastpack pack. This is actually not so uncomfortable. Man, the starlings are like out in full force today. I wonder if they're going to be hit on the mic. It'd be pretty funny. It's actually kind of a fun technique. So say your back is getting kind of tired from, hiking for 25 hours a day. For just like a breather, you could actually just hike like this for a little while. It actually works not so bad. You look very confused though, like you're doing like a joke on someone, like you pull your hat really far back and it just looks like you're facing the other way, and then you just go boo. I guess it's the season.